What's happening? How are you? All right, good to have you. Happy Monday. Nice to have you here today. We're going to stop being triggered. I know I may be the reason that you are triggered, but I'm a good trigger most days. And when I'm not, it's intentional to get you to think differently. And sometimes it's just because you don't like me, and that's okay too. But we're going to stop you being triggered today and talk about that a little bit because it is an issue and it's being used against you and you're using it against yourself as well. It's a daily boost from motivationtomove.com, the positive boost you need every single day. With your nearly famous motivational DJ dude, some words, some wisdom, some wisecracks. Who knows what the hell's going to happen because I'm loose in the studio. Don't give a grown man who likes to have fun and teach people and help people, don't give him a cool studio and a mug of coffee. Just don't do it. It's not good for, well, it's good for you. It makes for a good podcast. Good to have you here today. My name is Scott Smith, founder, chief motivating officer here at motivationtomove.com, where people are happy it's Monday. Are you still grumbling about your Mondays? Stop it. Stop it. You know what that means? It means you're doing something on a Monday you don't like to do. Stop it. If Sunday nights, you're like, oh, well, Monday's coming. Stop it. Can't wait for the weekend. Oh, man, that weekend was fast. Tomorrow I got to go back to work. Stop it. Serious, stop it. Could it be that simple? Scott, I want to get on a coaching call with you. And, okay, what's going on? I really hate Mondays because I hate my job. I said, stop it. Boom. Give me my money. Done. My good to have you here today. Man, oh man, oh man. By the way, if you're a dailyboostpremium.com member, which is the commercial-free version of this show, the coaching program, all that kind of stuff that we do, there's a new show for you on the premium feed. I'm calling it the Ask Me Anything Show because that's what every good podcaster calls their show about nothing. So, but I'll change the name eventually. But it's kind of cool. We took a single Facebook thread that was very long, and I made a show out of it. And I answered your questions of really cool stuff on it. You might want to check it out. It's on your feed right now. All right. So Monday morning, we always ask this question, and if you're driving the car, you can still do this. Have your kid next to you type it into their iPhone and text it to you, okay? Your homework is this. You can do it when we're done. Asking a simple single question. How's my life going? Because when I ask a question in that way, how's my life going, you are forced into an answer. Yeah, it's awesome. I love it. Really? Or are you just faking it? Pretending it's awesome. It sucks. And is it really good and you just don't appreciate what you have? I don't know what it is. The truth is, until you stop in the name of yourself, you will not be able to figure stuff out. Because what happens is, here's the thing. People come, you get busy with life. You get stuff happening, right? And you come talk to me, and what I realize is you've never taken time to think about what's happening. You've been losing sleep over it. You've been thinking about it when you've been driving down the car. You've been thinking about it through a bottle of wine here or there, and God knows I did that myself. I was a drunk guy in the mirror 23 years ago, and I said, this has got to change. Can't steer in the mirror being a drunk guy and fix my life too. I wasn't drinking all the time. It was just a bad night. But we have more bad nights, don't we? How's my life going? Good, bad, in the middle? Doesn't matter. As soon as you ask that question, life changes. Why? Because you're now focused on it. All right. So talking about being triggered today, triggered. And, sometimes we have a commercial and that triggers some people. I'm sorry, we got to pay the bills. Unless you're a Daily Boost Premium member, you didn't hear that commercial. Do you ever feel emotionally triggered and tossed off track for the entire day? Now, you are an emotional person. You are so emotional. Don't be so emotional. Why am I so emotional? Because that's how you are. Yeah. No, not just you, everybody. Every single person, every human ever born on the planet, except a couple I have seen typically somewhere around politics, are emotional people. When emotions keep you from logically navigating your day, that's when the problem begins. So, how do you control being triggered? So what is trigger? Let's kind of identify that. A trigger is when crap happens. When you find yourself doing something or responding or acting or saying something in a way, it just doesn't work. Sometimes a trigger is you're on a diet and something triggers you to go off the diet. Sometimes you're not on a diet and somebody says something or you get on a scale and you've been triggered to go on a diet. So triggers are everything. But when they, and it's good. I like a trigger. I trigger you half the time on these shows. I'm firing off triggers and putting you in emotional loops and spinning you round and round and round in an NLP loop and bringing you back and closing the deal and making your life better. I'm triggering you. You're being triggered all the time. If you're reading anything online, if you're reading any social media post, if you're watching the news, I watch the news and entertainment. I go, yay, good one. That's really, I just laugh at the news these days. And politicians. I just laugh at them. I don't get mad. I just laugh at them. Oh, that's good. How'd you make that one up? That's cool. Triggered. I know some of you are triggered because I just said that. Scott, stop mentioning the word politics. You mentioned it 3 times this week. All right. No, forget it. It's out there. It's funny. You've been triggered. Stop it. See, when you're triggered, I would prefer, let's back up a little bit here. See, I would prefer you trigger yourself to do good things for yourself or good things for the world, that you find ways to positively trigger good, positive experiences in yourself. But it's really hard to do if you allow everybody else to trigger you. So how do you do that? Well, you got to pull back and first and foremost, know what you want, be aware of it, and understand that you are in control. So number 1 is to identify what's triggering a response that you want or don't want. And that's the first thing. Why do I keep doing that? Okay, come here. Hey, man, thanks for booking a call. It's good to be on with you today. Tell me your story. Well, I keep doing this. I keep doing that. I keep doing this. I keep doing that. Scott, help me. Okay. So why do you keep doing that if it's not working for you? I don't know. Sure you do. I know you don't know, but if you did, what would it be? NLP trick. Well, it's because, and you tell me. You know what it is. You know what triggers you to do good. You know what triggers you to do bad. You know people who trigger, you know situations trigger, you know everything. Why am I watching this show again? It always makes me mad. Stop it. You're triggering yourself. Don't do that anymore. So identify the trigger. Identify what causes it, what situation it's in. Just identify. Just pull back from it and go, whoa, okay, wait, that's not good. Identify what's triggering the response you do or don't want, and then, boom, decide how it makes you feel and how you want to feel. Make a plan to respond. So identification is first. So don't get mad at it. Like I said, triggers are good and they're bad. So if you find something that's not serving you, just identify what it is and then go, okay, great. This is not serving me. I don't like this. This is not good for me in any single way. What do I do with it? What's my plan to respond next time it happens? Now, I got news for you. Come in here. This is super advanced stuff right now. It's right here. This is the big stuff right now. Once you decide and you figured out what your trigger is, and you said, that's it. That's what makes me mad, drives me bonkers. Not going to do it anymore. Once you do that, it's going to happen again. And you might not even notice it. And then it's going to happen again. And then you're going to notice it. Then you're going to get mad. You're going to get triggered again. Whoa, my God. That's what happens. See, you have to build up your awareness of it. You have to see it coming, honestly. I ride a motorcycle, right? I see everything coming. I look a quarter mile down the road. I see everything coming. Why? Too many people have gotten too close to me before. I got triggered. I don't want to do that again. So I watch down the road. So identify the trigger, the response you want or don't want, and then decide how you feel about that and make a plan to deal with it. Eventually it will go away. The next time you are triggered, when it happens, recognize it's happening again and then execute your plan. So it's identify, it's decide, and it's respond. Now, eventually, I'll tell you where this comes to. We're always going to be triggered about something. It happens. Yeah, just when you least expect it. So honestly, since I have learned in my life that the more I ignore the world around me and the more I just focus on myself, as much time as possible just, managing my world, I don't get triggered. I just don't, because it's not overwhelming me all the time. And then when I go out into the world, to be very frank with you, I go to places like conferences and stuff where people trigger me sometimes, or they try to. They don't trigger me, but I literally get a question mark in my forehead. That was weird. What's that? Oh, Scott, that used to be a trigger that would make you really mad. It doesn't happen anymore because you identified it, made a decision how to deal with it, responded to it, and eventually it just faded away. It went away. How much stuff in your life that used to be so terrible is just not there anymore? How much good stuff is not there anymore because the way you responded to it? Shouldn't have said that, right? The more you catch what emotionally triggers you, the more control you will have over how you feel. It's a true power. And I really wish I could give you, I have an idea. I wish I could give you a way to make this easier so you wouldn't have to rely upon yourself to be able to do it. You just not have to do that because that is the way these days. Not the Mandalorian way, it's the way of society. I want it, Scott, but I don't want to do it myself. So Okay, starting tomorrow, shock collars at motivationtomove.com. That's right. You go over there. They're probably on the site somewhere. You buy a shock collar. It's remotely controlled via the internet and the internet thing, and it goes through the Wi-Fi. And when you get triggered, I push a button on this end, and I remind you not to be shocked or not to be triggered. It's true. I'm kidding. There's no shock collars, but it is a good idea. You got to admit it. All right, let's get out of here. I have no idea what's happening tomorrow, but we'll come up with something. In the meantime, if you want to have some fun with me, just go over to go to dailyboostpodcast.com/Facebook, come into my group and join Daily Boost Premium. If you would, I would appreciate that. We'll have some fun there too.